all the participants and the speakers, distinguished speakers from different places. And as you rightly know that this topic is a very intriguing and very intricate topic. As a biochemist, by learning I'm a biochemist. So initially when we started my journey, my guide was a neurochemist. So he asked me to work on neurological aspect, but difficulty is that in biochemical science or science as such, the neurotransmitters which have been talked by many people will be talking, I think, in this section also, that they are very transient. They come and go. So it is very difficult to trace them out for the scientific purposes. And all the things are taken into consideration that nowadays we have the imaging technologies by which we can understand better understanding of the metabolic profile of the cells, which I was referring to, Dr. Chakravarti is referring to that the trillions of cells, how it lives as a living organism or living scientific consciousness, whatever we call it, then it will be very difficult to understand their complex process of interaction unless we have the metabolic map of that. So this particular symposium, I think, starting from the spirituality to the down to the science, I am telling you this, that sense, because the spirituality stands very high and science stands very low, as our directors have told, that when you try to scale the what brain is and what consciousness is, you are really at the foothills. So spirituality stands quite high and the science stands very low, and scientific understanding as of now, I can say that still whatever we have achieved by quantum physics, quantum chemistry, mechanics, all these things fall short when we think of what is consciousness, what is life. So obviously this particular type of interactions between the different fields to understand this complex process is always welcome, and I wish this particular symposium, seminar, or so many lectures of the stalwarts will help you understand a better way that how it has to be approached. I will not say that it can be solved. It can how we can approach this problem. That is the most important, I think, the most important take-home message from this particular symposium events, and that will be the success of this program. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your illuminating address. Your contribution to medical education and biochemistry continue to inspire innovation and excellence. Let's give a warm round of applause. It's now our honor to welcome Professor Dr. Colonel Ajaya Sahoo, sir, Head of ENT and Head and Neck Surgery and Medical Superintendent of AIIMS Kalyani. His vast experience in medical administration and surgical expertise has significantly advanced patient care and institutional excellence. Sir, we request you.
Good morning, everyone. It is my proud privilege to see this in this august gathering, such great personalities, and I take this opportunity on behalf of the Executive Director to welcome you all to AIIMS Kalyani. And I think this brain, mind and consciousness talk has brought a lovely change in the weather also. So it's a great time to bring these topics. When I was a medical student, today the definition of health in the textbooks is a state of physical, mental and social well-being, and not merely the absence of disease or infirmity. When I did MBBS about 4 decades back, there was a fourth dimension which was spiritual health also. And slowly it has gone out from the textbooks. As a student that time also, I felt that was the most important part. And I'm so happy that today, again, after 4 decades, this kind of concept, if you can call it spiritual health, is coming back, where finally, in these practice of 4 decades, we have seen that there is something beyond than what we know, which makes our body so-called physically fit. And talking of somewhere we ourselves digressed from accepting this fact. And it became a bad word to use the word of religion, to use the word spirituality, to speak the word of mental health and all this consciousness. And we tried to become our own, like we have treated this as doctors, as physicians, we treated it like that, forgetting that there is something more beyond that. And we separated in crude terms, if I say, the body from the soul. And I'm so happy that we have a galaxy of stars from not only from the scientific, from the medical, and also from the people who have gone beyond. We are seeing such religious, so-called religious minds over here, and without coming in between them, we have a galaxy of lectures. We have a really conceptualized talks by different speakers. So take the most of it, and I'm happy to see that a lot of young minds are here today. So you all can take it on and get this change where somewhere I think our generation went away from. So welcome to Ms. Kalyani and enjoy this complete session on mind, the brain and the consciousness. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for your insightful words. Your commitment to healthcare research and medical leadership is truly commendable. We now welcome Professor Devashish Kole, Department of Chemical Sciences and Dean of International Relations in Outreach, IISc, Kolkata. Professor Kole's research and contribution in chemical sciences and interdisciplinary studies have significantly advanced our understanding.
Good morning, everyone. Good morning, everyone, particularly the students and the other faculty colleagues and other dignitaries present here. So, first of all, I convey my deepest gratitude to the Bhakti Vedanta Institute, Kolkata, particularly Sushant Sharmaji, for his invitation to attend this one-day symposium on the brain, mind, and consciousness of Ms. Kalyani. On behalf of our director, IISc Kolkata, Sri Sunil Khareji, and also on my behalf, I convey my greatest regards and greetings to all the dignitaries here. Sri K. Vasudeva Rao, President of Bhakti Vedanta Institute, Kolkata, Professor Dr. Ramji Singh, Executive Director, Ms. Kalyani, Professor Tapas Chakravarti, Vice Chancellor, Macau, West Bengal, Professor Dr. Kalyan Goswami, HOD Biochemistry and Dean of Academics, Ms. Kalyani, Professor Dr. Ajaya Malik, HOD, ENT and Head Neck Surgery and Medical Superintendent, Ms. Kalyani, and also, more foremost, the chief guest of today, Padma Shri Dr. B.N. Gangadhar, Chairman, the National Medical Commission, New Delhi, and former Director of New Standard. Well, in this gathering today, I have already seen the list of speakers and the topic that we will discuss on. But before going to that in a very brief stand, I said the Bhakti Vedanta Institute itself has a noble objective to catch for. It connects and revives the link between science and spirituality. It's a very difficult domain to encompass. To achieve this end, of course, the Institute has very clear-cut modalities, particularly arranging national and international conferences, arranging for dialogues with eminent speakers, including Nobel laureates from all disciplines, and publishing journals and magazines for wide dissemination of the discourses. But before we move to the spirituality and science, the one component of the balance, if I look at the balance, both of them in same sense, the science is one of the most important part. And going back to the place where I belong, starting my journey in 2011 from Ajaya Sahoo, which was basically non-existent and having its old campus. So you can see the campus at AIMS here and Ajaya Kolkata. It was not existing 10, 20, 15 years ago. So it was a bad land, particularly the AIMS land of 206 acres was full of Armenian grasses. When we saw it the first time that it was going to be here, we just ran from AIMS. And the first few lectures, if I could recall, it was there in the JNM hospital and then was there in our MM Shah auditorium at Ajaya Kolkata, the old times. But what happened was that we spanned from the old campus to the new one, 210 acres, very green campus at Ajaya Kolkata. And what it is that the most of us may know, but I just want to let you know as a part of the formality. The Ajaya Kolkata is to create an institute, it's a research institute of the highest caliber in which teaching and education will totally integrated with the state-of-the-art research facilities. So initially it was commissioned by the Ministry of Human Resource and Development, which later transferred to the MOE, the Ministry of Education. So these institutes that the Ajayas, total 7 in number throughout the whole country, are devoted to the undergraduate and the postgraduate teachings in science in an intellectually vibrant atmosphere of research. One of the important objectives of creating this institute is to make education and careers in basic sciences more attractive by providing opportunities in integrated teaching and learning of sciences and breaking the traditional disciplines of it. Ajaya Kolkata has 7 departments: physical sciences, chemical sciences, biological sciences, earth sciences, mathematics and statistics, and the newly formed computational data sciences and humanities and social sciences. There are 4 centers of excellences: Center for High Quality Research, that is CESI, the Center for Excellence in Space Science is India, National Center for High Pressure Studies, Center for Advanced Functional Materials, and the Center for Climate and Environmental Studies. So we have all the flagship courses that by now many people know here in this audience, the BSMS as well as the higher studies of Masters and PhD level. So what is most important coming back to this, the link between the spirituality and science and to understand the consciousness is not a problem of today. It has been there for a long time. As Professor Tapas Chakraborty pointed out, something from some small part from Mahabharata and Ramayana. There you all know the small anecdote from Mahabharata that when the Yaksha, basically when Yudhishthira was trying to save his other brothers from Yaksha, he asked various questions. You answer these questions, then only I will. So it's just like that. So if you want to break the minds of pyramids, the pharaohs of the pyramids said, you can take the gold you want, but you have to be clever enough. If you're clever enough to break all the puzzles, you take the gold, otherwise you die. Similarly, this was there also. If you're clever enough, you ask. So one of the questions was, which travels faster than light? He said, mind. And it's truly amazing, no? They knew it from so long time. And really, mind goes so faster. Because when I can go to Jupiter at this moment and think that I am running on the helium cloud. So this is such a most important, how it goes, how it transfers so faster. So that imputing questions, the answer is very easy. But to find out the details about that, it's so difficult. Eventually there are various parts of science which is still not able to explain. You may all heard from your childhood the story of Satyajit Ray's Sonar Killa. That every person have seen that movie numerous times, and I have seen it 6 or 7, 8 times. But the thing is that parapsychology, that means what was I in my before birth? And I could tell it completely. Science proves it wrong. But how you traverse your mind to find out who are you in your previous birth is an extraordinary, I can say, of level of understanding is required. where we do not have the domain to even look on those spaces. You can say vector space, whatever space, or inverse space. All those spaces are completely not eventually being mapped on. You do different types of neural network, you make different types of artificial intelligence problems to map the cognitive space of human beings or any mammals or whatever living organism. But the thing is that it is a topic which requires a lot of understanding and we may know very little about it. So I think that is what the Bhakti Vedanta Society is trying to bring a bridge between those. At least we may not solve or even understand, but we try to see those regions. And there are so many things unknown. And with this aim, this one-day symposium, I think, jam-packed with very interesting simulating talks, both in hybrid modes, that is online as well as offline modes. And I think that will be really an eye-opener to most of us, will, as Sushanji pointed out, it will open a basket of discussions and scope. With this, I end my speech here, and I wish this one-day symposium a great success. Thank you all for listening.